Good evening. It's 6:30 p.m. on Monday, April 22nd. I now call this Winton Woods Board of Education meeting to order. Can I have everyone stand and we do the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is 1.03, roll call. Mr. Seymour, will you call the roll?
Mrs. Knighton,
Present.
Mr. Smith, Mr. Spielman,
Present.
Dr. Johnson,
Present.
Ms. Bryant.
Present. Thank you, Mr. Seymour. All right. The next item on the agenda is 2.01, District Honors and Recognitions, Gifts and Introductions. And before we do that, Superintendent Smith would like to yield the floor to Jessica Miranda.
Who? I'm kidding.
Yours truly, Superintendent Smith. Hello, good evening, Winton Woods Board of Education, and thank you for allowing me to snag the first part of this meeting this evening. I have quite a number of gifts to bring you from the Ohio House of Representatives that I've been collecting over the last series of months and just storing up for the right board meeting to come. And I didn't want to delay it too long as we're entering a transition of leadership here in the district, so I have something for that too. But I'm going to start with the easy ones. I don't know, Ms. Jordan, if you coordinated any of the folks to be here tonight that I have specific awards for, but I'm going to start with the ones for the district. Oh, and by the way, I'm Jessica Miranda, former state representative for this wonderful State House district that we are sitting in tonight, former school board president for this wonderful board here, and now serving as the Hamilton County Auditor. So, the first honor I have for you on behalf of the 135th General Assembly of the State of Ohio is the award that you received on behalf of the Academy of Global Studies here at Winton Woods High School on being named the flagship school by the global education community. Fantastic. So, pretty amazing stuff. This is signed by myself and the Speaker of the House, Jason Stevens. So we got that signed here for you, and it says a bunch of amazing things on there, but I'm not going to read every single one of these to you word for word. And then the next one I have for the district is when you received the award for the 2023 James D. McConnell Award from the Association of Learning Environments. So big round of applause on this. I was very happy to be a part of designing these school buildings when I was here. And of course, as you can see, we're having the meeting here in this building tonight. It's been fantastic. All three of my children go here, and I'm literally at this building every single day. So thank you for doing what you do on behalf of our children. This next one, I'm pleased to present. I don't see her here, but this goes to Miss Danny Ashbrook. She got the Local 12 Educator of the Week 1 week, probably like 2-3 months ago. So this is for her. And then this is for the grand opening of the Winton Woods School-Based Health Center. So,
Okay.
Awesome stuff. All right, now, we have two phenomenal coaches here in the school district. One is Coach Pilgrim, and the other, I believe, is Coach Gray. Yes. Coach Gray got the Eastern Cincinnati Conference Coach of the Year for girls basketball.
Boy.
Shout out to Coach Gray. And then Coach Pilgrim got the Eastern Cincinnati Coach of the Year in boys basketball. So shout out to Coach Pilgrim.
Hey, yes.
Yeah.
His first year.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's even better. His first year coaching. All right, I'm going to stack all of these here for you, Mrs. Jordan, to disperse to all of the amazing people. And then the most important of the night from me to you here at Winton Woods is our amazing superintendent's retirement. And I
Almost
remember
forgot about
I was here with you and served with you. I had the honor of doing so. And my very first superintendent scholars dinner.
Yes.
I remember sitting right next to you, and I leaned over to you. There was about 16 of our students on the roster that year.
Yes.
And I said, Superintendent, we need to double this next year. And that you did.
Yes, we did.
And ever since then, that number is on the rise.
Yes.
And I appreciate you for everything you are, for the educator you are, for everything you've brought to this district. And I'm sorry I'm still not the state representative when you actually retire. I know you have a few months left, I'm aware.
Yeah.
But I wanted to give this to you before
you.
you get gone too far.
All right,
So,
thank you.
from me to you, and on behalf of the 135th State Assembly, signed by myself as your former state rep and Speaker of the House, Jason Stevens. I commend you for your service. Thank you. And let's see. I don't see him here tonight, but I also wrote up a little something special for Mr. Denny, the incoming superintendent. So this is for him. Shout out to Mr. Denny wherever you are, and he can display this in his office or on his desk. So thank you
sure
for
he gets it.
allowing me to be here tonight. I'll give that to you, and all of these for Mrs. Jordan. And keep up the fantastic work. Thank you for all you do. Being a board member is a thankless job. I know that firsthand. But thank you for everything you do, keeping our district the destination district that it is. I wouldn't send my children anywhere else. And I have my new business cards now, so I'll pass those out to you before I leave. Open door policy, as it always was. Do not hesitate to contact me in my new capacity. I'm here to serve you, and I work for now each and every single constituent of our wonderful county, instead of just a small portion of it. So thank you for having me tonight, and go Warriors.
Thank you, Jess.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all those awards. Superintendent Smith, you have the floor.
Yes, is Miss Roach here tonight? Oh, that would have been good. All right. Aswin. Come on up, sir. All right. So you get to stand right here, and I'm going to read something about you. So Ms. Roach states that Aswin is deserving of the Kiwanis Character's Key Integrity Award because he exemplifies the meaning of integrity. He is honest, has strong moral values. He conducts himself in the warrior way by being respectful, responsible, and trustworthy. I can trust him to help with any task. He is always willing to help others. He has a desire to succeed and loves to see others succeed. He has a love for learning and is always engaged. Aswin is a joy to have in class. His peers also look up to him. Fantastic. Integrity, right here. Okay, all right. Okay, so, Dad, come up for a photo opportunity. All right, who else came with you tonight? You and Dad?
Yeah, just me.
Okay, all right.
Bill was going to do it. Okay, Mr. Spillman. Mr. Spillman's going to do
Where's Miss Jordan? Oh, wait a minute.
have
Wait,
the
wait, wait,
award.
wait, wait. Hold on, hold on.
it. Yeah, I was going to say there is a.
If we're missing something, to give you.
It's a nice award, and on the back of that award is a very incredible gift card for you.
Yay. All right.
Is Jefferson Cruz Rodriguez here tonight? Ah, come on. I was doing pretty good. We'll come back. We're going to save it. All right, moving along. What about Kelly Kennedy? She is the Skyline Teacher of the Month. She may be at home working on some lessons, so it's all right. Okay. Coach Johnson. Okay. What about Cameron Mercer? Very good. All right, come on up. Now, so we kind of grow these people big and strong and tall. Do you know Cameron's only in the 4th grade? No. No, a championship team. All right. Cameron is a student athlete at Winton Woods Middle School and currently has a 3.57 GPA. He is a true athlete who excels both on and off the basketball court. Cameron is considered by many to be the #1 eighth grade basketball player. Guess where? The United States. Yes. But if you met Cameron, you would never know it to be true. He carries himself in the most humble way and is one of the most selfless kids you will ever meet. Cameron shows the utmost respects to his teachers, coaches, administrators, and peers. Cameron is a true leader both on and off the basketball court. Day in and out, Cameron displays a positive attitude in the classroom and is extremely respectful to everyone he comes in contact with. With this attitude in the classroom and basketball court, the sky is the limit for Cameron. Fantastic. Awesome. All right. Coach Pilgrim, come up, because I know you've been developing this young man, and I know. All right, come on up. All Ohio, come on up.
I feel really short right now.
Now, before we get carried away, the one thing I'd like to say is I read something. It says he's the #1 eighth grade basketball player in the United States, correct? Next year, I want him to be the #1 ninth grade basketball player in the United States that attends Winton Woods.
That's right.
All right? Okay. If you guys applaud for that, he might stay around. Okay.
Awesome.
Coach Pilgrim, you know how it is, sir.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So I need Mr. Jeff Merrill to come up. So what we found out is, since we've been in the ECC for how many years, sir?
This is our fourth season.
Fourth season, okay. And I have to tell you, some people didn't want us in the league because they figured we would dominate the league. But one of the things that we were able to express to them, if you allow Winton Woods to be in this incredible league, we will make the league better. And we have. So many different awards and opportunities because of the experience that we have. Correct,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Merrill?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So there are other recipients. And is Tyler here tonight?
Actually, they called me like an hour or two ago and said they couldn't make it. He had some things he had to do.
Okay, all right. So the Board of Education congratulates Tyler, a senior student athlete who was named the Ohio High School Athletics Division I Boys Basketball First Team, and he is the Basketball Player of the Year for Division I. All right? Incredible. Is Miss Trammell here? All right. Girls basketball. She is the #1 player in the league for the ECC, and so that's Tyler and Trammell. The next is the following athletes for their awards. So one of the things we figured out a while back, we try to create as many opportunities for young people as possible. All right. The more opportunities, the better experiences in school. All right. It's not just about the books all of the time. It's about the other things. So first team for academics is Mason Powers. Way to go, Mason. Come on up. Now, this is the academic team, all right? The next is second team, Andrew Escobedo. And Halmus. Not here tonight. Okay, you too. Good job. All right. And so these guys have like strong academic brains, all right? It's not just about the ball or the hoop, it's about the other experiences called academics. That's why we're here. So photo opportunity with families. Come on up.
The coach. for your picture.
Makes me look tall.
Andrew and Mason, one question. Where do you get those super intellectual powers from, mom or dad? Mom. Oh, okay. All right.
He really meant
So
to
you'll
say
be
both.
walking home tonight, sir. All right.
It was easy for Andrew to answer because Dad's not here with them. So, you know,
That's
him on the
pretty
spot
good.
here.
That's pretty good. Way to hang in there, Mom. Okay. All right. That was for academics. This is for boys basketball. Now remember, this is that league, the ECC, that they didn't really want us in, but now we're in, and they're loving us because we're getting all these great awards. So the ECC loves Winton Woods City Schools. Offensive Player of the Year, Tyler McKinney. First team, Sean Harmon. Sean here tonight. Okay. Second team, Nate Dawson. And honorable mention, Evan Sewsbury. Now, I know his mom is a teacher here, so that makes it even more exciting. Let's give them a round of applause, even though they're not here. Girls basketball, Defensive Player of the Year, Miss Trammell, again. First team, Brittany Campbell, Dana Trammell, and honorable mention, Rakila Rice. Okay, round of applause. So every young person doesn't necessarily want the basketball, the football, all right? So we have other sports, and I think that's what makes our district so attractive. We have other sports that our young people can branch into. So girls bowling, second team, Taylor Griggs. Right here. You got the bowling the All-Star game. Anybody ever heard of the bowling All-Star game? Okay, now you have. All right. All right, fantastic. Why did you pick bowling?
I don't know, honestly. Well, I've always liked bowling, but only with family. Like, I've never been, like, professional or anything with bowling, but I've always liked to bowl with my family because it was just fun, but I like it now. Like,
Well, you're on that team, so you should probably love it now. So fantastic. So who came with you tonight?
oh, my mom.
Mom, come on up, please. Mom, you never thought you'd be standing up for this bowling thing, did you? All right. Moving on through the list, we have boys swimming. You know what's so incredible about boys swimming at Winton Woods? It's the most amazing sport of all because we don't have a swimming pool, all right? But we're winning and getting honorable mentions for swimming, so that's just amazing. Blaine Devlin. All right, we'll catch up with you, Blaine. Girls swimming, honorable mention, Sophia Beidenbach. Fantastic. Okay, you know the rule. Come on up, family. All right, Sophia, you know I'm going to ask you that question. Who's the best swimmer in the family, mom or dad? Okay, very good. All right, just checking. There's always some good person in there, Dr. Johnson. Come on. All right, boys wrestling, Valdez Cancun. Valdez. All right, we'll catch him next time. Let's give him a round of applause. And of course, the incredible Jessica Miranda stole my thunder, but that's okay. And the boys basketball coach of the year, of course, Coach Mike Pilgrim.
I knew he was here.
You come on. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's one of my coaches right there. He like to act like he wasn't.
That's awesome.
Of course, Ms. Miranda mentioned that the girls' basketball coach of the year is Mr. Carlton Gray. And you guys may have heard a little story about his daughter, Chance Gray. Well, we're excited. She's coming back on this side of the world. She's not playing for Oregon. She's playing for Ohio State. So she's transferred, and now we get a chance to see her in some real live competition. So fantastic. Next award is for this incredible guy. Whenever you call this man to ask him for support, to put on a banquet, to sponsor an event, he says yes before you even finish it. At one point in time, we were about the same height. Something happened. I didn't grow, he did, but that's okay. We still have the same love and admiration for each other. And I'd like to offer I want you guys to give a round of applause for the Community Spirit Award, and this is to Mr. Gore. Cincinnati, Ohio Police Federal Credit Union. This award is presented to an organization or an individual to recognize their significant contribution to the Winton Woods City School District over a period of many years. So, Mr. Gore, thank you, sir. Come on up. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. All right, a few words.
I just want to say thank you. I'm deeply honored to be recognized for this, the work that we do in the community, particularly with Winton Woods. So I just want to say thank you all for the recognition. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right, before you go, let's get a few people up here so it didn't seem like he was alone. All right. Jess, come on up. Dr. Ragland, come up. Miss Hobbs, come up. Miss Jordan, come on. Mr. Spielman, get in there. Okay. Mr. Merrill, you can come back. You might need this guy one day. I'm just a guy right here. All right. So this next one was for beautiful people, but Merrill, you can stay in the photo, sir.
I'm sorry. You in the middle.
Mr. Gore is a fantastic guy. Thank you, Mr. Gore. Thank you. Christina Deal just came in, and she's the last month's Teacher of the Year. We keep waiting on you until you show up. So, Christina Deal, come on up. So in my script, it says if you were supposed to be here last month and you just came, then you must give us a speech. There you go.
I didn't read that in the minutes.
Tell us a little bit about why you are so passionate about your work.
So I get to work with a lot of the ESL students at the high school. We have 217 plus ESL students at the high school. And I'm usually now the first person that they get to meet when they come to the high school.
It makes a very good impression. Thank you very, very much. We totally appreciate you. Who did you bring with you tonight?
I brought my boyfriend with me.
Okay. Boyfriends can get pictures too.
I'll let you get close, I'll say
Good. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Now, when you put this picture on your mantle, you don't necessarily have to keep him on there. All right? Yeah. Okay. All right. I didn't say that, Doc. All right. President Bryant, that's it.
All right. Well, thank you, Superintendent Smith, and congratulations to all those who are honored. The next item on the agenda is 3.01. We will take a 3-minute brief recess. Okay. Back in session.
Hey, President Bryant, we have one more where there is a reflection or an announcement from.
Okay.
Okay.
Superintendent Smith, you have the floor.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. I just want to submit in writing with your signatures of permission respectfully below on my paper to peacefully resign from the social studies teaching position with the Winton Woods School District. I have to move my household, and I have a document to get permission from all of you to do that here as I stand on this paper, and I signed.
Thank you. Sad to hear that you're leaving us, and hopefully you're moving somewhere sunny and warm.
Possibly.
Possibly. Okay. Thank you.
And so I need to submit, with your permission, the document for signatures.
You don't
out
really
of-
need their signatures on the document. It's a process that we go through, but they would actually get it next. So
Yes.
it has to go through HR first, but we'll make sure we take care of it.
Okay.
When do you, are you leaving, like, soon?
Soon. Can I get a copy from you all?
When are you leaving?
Probably within the month of
Okay, we'll get it to you actually before Friday.
before Friday.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
do I get
Yes.
this to you now?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
very
for your
much.
service.
All right.
Who should I contact for a copy?
You've already contacted me. I've got it. I'm gonna
Okay.
pass it on to them. They'll do their part, and
All
then we'll
right.
get it to Human Resources so that you can officially go through the board minutes as resigned.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you
All right.
so much.
Thank you.
And I just want to say I thoroughly enjoyed my teaching experience. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You guys sign that, I could actually take it. You don't really. Everybody.
Thank you.
Oh, everybody, okay.
We all, but I don't know where to sign it. I don't want to mess
Okay.
up her only copy.
Okay, I'll send that.
We'll
So
do
I
that
actually
in
took care
executive
of
session.
4.01. Ms. Collins was our person that submitted the public comment, so thank you so much. And again, thank you for all that you've done for the district and being a part of the Winton Woods family. Once a warrior, always a warrior. So welcome back anytime. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is 5.01, Winton Woods Teacher Association representative. Do we have a rep from WWTA? Okay, seeing none. Next item on the agenda is 5.02, an OPSI representative.
Good evening, Madam Board President, board members, community.
Good evening.
Sorry. On behalf of OC members and myself, I want to say congratulations to our brother, Michael Pilgrim, for winning the award. And also, I want to give a congratulations to Ron from the credit union. He's always worked with us and always very helpful and resourceful. And on behalf of OC, we just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is 6.01, to waive the reading of the minutes. Board, a motion is in order.
I'd like to move we waive the reading of the minutes for the regular meeting, March 25th, 2024.
Thank you, Mr. Spellman. It's been motioned. Can I have a second?
I'll second that.
It's been second. Thank you, Ms. Knighton. It's been motioned and second. Are there any questions or for discussion?
No.
Comments? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, will you call the vote?
Mrs. Knighton,
Aye.
Mr. Spielman,
Aye.
Dr. Johnson,
Aye.
Ms. Bryant.
Aye. The vote passes unanimously. The next item on the agenda is 6.02, to approve the minutes as presented. Board, a motion is in order.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been motioned and second. Do I have any discussion?
No.
Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, will you call the vote?
Ms. Knighton,
Aye.
Mr. Spielman,
Aye.
Dr. Johnson,
Abstain.
Ms. Bryant.
Aye. That vote passes with 3 yeas, 1 abstention. The next item on the agenda is 7.01, financial statements for March 2024. Mr. Seymour, you have the floor.
Yes, your financial reports before you for the month of March reflect total year-to-date revenues of $48.5 million in the general fund, month-to-date revenues of $4.1 million. The $4.1 million was mostly state foundation of $2 million and real estate tax advance of $1.6 million. Our total expenditures in the general fund year-to-date are at $41.8 million, and we're currently approximately 4% under budget, or approximately $2.5 million. And then on page 5, you have a list of all the financial activity for all funds, and the district on March 31st had approximately $28 million of unencumbered fund balance, and the breakdown is provided for you.
Okay, thank you. Board, a motion is in order?
Those
Or actually, to
submitted for
review
audit.
to submit it for audit. I do have a
Yes.
question. I always missed that one. My
Okay.
apologies. Looking at page 5, I noticed that we have ESSER funds, and you've heard a lot on the news lately with some districts with ESSER funds and using the funds. Can we talk just briefly about how we used our ESSER funds?
Our, our ESSER funds were very little used for personnel. The only thing that ESSER was used for here that normally is for general fund, and then in the 5-year forecast, we put it back into the general fund for the fiscal year '25. And that was for learning loss recovery, which included all of our data coaches, our technology coaches, and our instructional curriculum coaches. And then we also had the supervisor of federal grants and testing in ESSER, and that position has been brought back to the general fund for next year, and it's included in our 5-year forecast, which we will be updating soon, and I'll share all that again.
Okay, thank
Does
you.
that help answer your question?
Yes, it does. I just know I've been seeing it. I don't know if the public has seen it or heard it. Different school districts in our area and ESSER funds have come up. I just wanted to make sure that the public knew that we used our funds a little differently. So therefore, unlike some of our neighboring districts, we don't have this deficit of we've got to get rid of this position or that position because these funds are going away.
President Bryant, when the ESSER funds were first released, there was all kind of notations and documents about not to use it for full-time FTEs. They gave you every caution, and I would say we followed it to the letter simply because we knew that when the funds run out, then the employees would have to transition. There were no other options and no other funds coming. Some districts believed that it was going to be ongoing, but we read the fine print, and it was clear that it was not.
Yeah, thank you, both of you, for
And
that.
as, if you also could recall, we spent a lot of our ESSER funds on our renovation of our early childhood center, which is not a reoccurring expenditure.
Correct.
That's great. Thank you both for using those funds and heeding the letter of the law. So, all right, we'll have the March 2024 financial statements to be presented for audit. The next item on the agenda is 8.01, investment reports. Mr. Seymour, you have the floor.
Yes, our investments for the month of March, we had approximately $37 million invested, of which we earned $113,800 in interest. $93,500 was a general fund, and $20,200 for the building funds. Also, we've been in a I wanted to make a notation that we received for participation in the Fifth Third Credit Card Rebate Program, we received $3,960 this year in a rebate. We use our district credit cards basically only for travel for professional development, and also the big chunk of that is I pay the workers' comp bill using the Fifth Third credit card, which gives us a rebate back on the purchase of the payment.
I like that rebate. It's very nice. I also see our Star Ohio Fund is earning lots of interest, which is nice. It's got good interest. Great. Board, a motion is in order.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the investment report as presented.
It has been motioned. Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
It's been motioned and second. Any questions or items for discussions? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, would you call the vote?
Mrs. Knighton?
Aye.
Mr. Spielman?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Ms. Bryant?
Aye. The vote passes unanimously. The next item on the report is, next item on the agenda is reports of the superintendent, Superintendent Smith.
Yes,
The floor.
Madam President and Board, I'm absolutely happy to announce the Disney trip for the band was approved by Disney. And just so that people can be aware of how Disney does the work, You must send in a sample of the costumes that you're going to wear. You also have to send in a sample of the music. The costumes must be the original ones that you sent in. If you change costumes, you have to send the update. At this point, we have not received the endorsement for the choir and the orchestra, but they've submitted their paperwork, so we hope that all groups will get in. I wanted to bring that to your attention, as soon as I found out. I think I sent you guys an email on it, but I wanted you to know, because I know people, watching Waycross wanted to know how this thing is going. So Drew Jackson is going to give you some very important dates about what's happening in schools, and but before she does that, I'd like for you guys to remember on May the 10th there's a conflict. There's an honors diploma dinner that starts at 5, but there's also an ECCC. Now remember, I'm saying ECCC. There's a prom, okay? There's a prom and a fine arts fair. So it's a little prom for little guys. So I don't know how you would manage to go to both of those, but I've never been to a preschool prom in my life, or kindergarten. Miss Bray, what about you? Okay, all right, okay, all right, okay.
What does that entail?
I don't know. This is just an exciting new thing that they wanted to do, and I'm for it.
so cute.
But it starts at 6 o'clock, it's 6 to 7:30. Our schools are not in close proximity, so it would be hard to manage both of those. But we have our white robe ceremony at May 10th, and then that's followed by the senior awards at 7. So this dinner it kicks off at 5. Drew, I'm sorry to steal some of your stuff,
No,
but
you're good.
I don't
like,
know
he's
if you had
sharing all the events.
But I don't know if you had the preschool prom on
Oh,
there.
I do.
You do? Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I,
Okay.
I have a long list.
Okay.
So I encourage you to go to wintonwoods.org/calendar to look at all the events. But speaking of prom, the high school prom is actually this Friday. It begins at 8 p.m. and I know not everyone is involved in that, but that's something that is exciting. So if you follow parents whose kids are in high school, be on the lookout for some of their dresses and just photos. The theme is Met Gala, Dazzling Diamonds, so that will be a fun theme to see. And on Monday, April 29th, there will be no school. It's a half PD development day for staff. On Tuesday, April 30th, the high school choir has a senior recognition concert at 7 p.m. On Wednesday, May 1st, PTA has a meeting at 6:30. On Thursday, May 2nd, the Warrior Pantry, We Thrive Pantry is from 4:30 to 6:30 at the Forest Park Chapel. On Thursday, May 2nd. So I'm going to go through a lot of different concerts and award seasons. I can't believe there's only a month of school left. So a lot of these events are pretty much wrapping up the end of the year. So a lot of awards and concerts. So beginning on Thursday, May 2nd, middle school, high school orchestra senior concert recognition. May 3rd is the high school academic signing at 9 a.m. May 7th is the high school senior reflections. That's at 6:30. Also on May 7th is the middle school band and choir concert at 7 p.m. On Wednesday, May 8th, intermediate school has a band concert at 7 p.m. On Thursday, May 9th, the middle school has an honors night at 7 p.m. and the intermediate school has an orchestra concert. On Friday, May 10th, the high school honors diploma scholars dinner that Mr. Smith mentioned, and then as well as the ECC prom and the high school senior awards. So that's all on May 10th. And then the following week, on Thursday, May 16th, is graduation, and that's at 6:30 at the Centos Center. And then we have our board meeting, and then the last day of school for students is on May 24th, and the last day of school for teachers is May 29th. So that is the next month, and then we're done.
Yeah, rolling along.
So
Thank you, Ms. Jackson.
I wanted to ask you about the ribbons.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that?
On Saturday, May 4th, we are looking for community members who are willing to give their time to support a 31-year-old tradition. Last year, we were passed the baton to create the graduate ribbons. So every year, if you drive on Winton Road, you'll see the fence. It's adorned with green and blue ribbons, and it has our students' names on it. So
we are looking for people who are willing to help create these ribbons and place them on the fence. And that will be next Saturday. We're beginning at 9:30, so 9:30 to 10, we'll have light refreshments, and I'll share instructions on how to create the
We
ribbons.
probably
and-
shouldn't give refreshments until after they've worked.
All right, well.
No, feed us first. That'll be.
So that is next Saturday. We would love to see anyone in the community who's willing to give their time and to support our students. I know this is really impactful for the community and for our students when they go and they take photos next to the ribbons.
And
Just
Ms.
another way.
Jackson mentioned a 31-year tradition, board. No ribbon has ever blown away.
Since
You're jinxing us. Thank you for saying
What's
that.
the time frame?
I'm just letting you know.
So it is a time-consuming project, so the more volunteers, the better. If there were 30 volunteers, each person could create 10 ribbons and place them on the fence, but if there's like 10 people, that's like 30 ribbons a person. So we're hoping for a great turnout.
And Ms. Roselle has volunteered to, because of her incredible penmanship, she is going to script all of the names on each ribbon. So she's agreed to do that, and we're happy.
It'll be at the high school.
You just need someone to help make the ribbons.
Yes.
Yes. And for years, we had wonderful community volunteers. They took on this mission, and we thank them for
And it
this
looks so
tradition.
incredible on Waycross.
They do, and I
telling
think
you, I
as a
mean, Winton.
parent, that was one of the highlights, to grab those graduation ribbons when our kids
Absolutely.
graduated. And other communities have taken our tradition and made it their own, so we definitely have to carry this forward. We can't let them outdo us.
Ms. Bryant, when I
Look,
worked in another school district, I would go that way intentionally just to see the Winton Woods ribbons. And I had to tell my supervisor, because I was late to work every day, that I've been looking at the Winton Woods ribbons, and you know what she says? She says, I understand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they look really nice.
Actually, the pack rat that I am, I still have my daughter's ribbon from 92, that graduated, and then the one in 2002.
That's awesome.
I'm a pack rat. I still have my ribbons, so, and, so all 4 of them, so.
Yeah.
Now,
So
we're
again,
hoping-
May 4th.
We're hoping
Yes,
for,
so
we're hoping
maybe I
for a
should come and make a
miracle.
ribbon. I don't know.
But
Or
we're
2
hoping,
Or
10.
2 or 10.
we're hoping for a miracle, because there is something that happened, there's a portion of the fence that's missing.
Oh, I know that.
So they assured us that they would have it repaired, because that's huge for us. So hopefully the city can get that part together for us.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Superintendent Smith, anything else on school reports?
That's
All right.
it.
Next item on the agenda is 9.02, facilities update. Superintendent Smith, you have the floor.
Mr. Denny is not available tonight, but we actually did something really different. We were trying to keep the motivation of the ECCC, keep their staff kind of up, because, of course, they're getting a renovated building that's going to be awesome. And so we gave them a actual tour last week, and I know Board Member Spillman was there. But Mr. Spillman, can you kind of talk to me about, or talk to the team about how enthusiastic the teachers were and how the building is coming along?
Yeah, so one tour, there were 2 tours, there were enough people. So we did it during the lunch, so it was,
Just before the solar eclipse.
yeah, yes. So we did it while the workers are not working, so that we didn't have to comply with OSHA regulations. We divided into two groups. Mr. Denny led one, and the architect, project manager led the other. And people were excited. They wanted a tour of their room, and they wanted to know where the blackboard or the whiteboard was, and they wanted to know where everything was going to be. They talked about the colors in the rooms, so it was a good thing.
That's awesome.
Well worth it.
Yeah, so we did that after their PD, professional development, and then everybody went and watched the eclipse.
Great. Thank you.
It was a good tour.
Awesome. All right. The next item on the agenda is 10.01, superintendent recommendations. Superintendent Smith, you have the floor.
Yes, Madam President. The recommendation is to approve the adoption of the Winton Woods Teachers Association contract as presented.
All right. Board, a motion is in order.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the adoption of the Winton Woods Teachers Association contract as presented.
Okay, a motion, I'll second. Are you second?
Nope, go ahead.
Okay. It's been motioned and second. Is there any questions or discussions?
No, don't have
I'm
any.
assuming this, I didn't have it in my minutes, so is it just the updated contract from previous years?
The contract that we have listed in the board docs,
Yeah,
this collective bargaining agreement,
yeah.
is that you're referring
Should be
to?
updated language, new language.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been updated and some things renegotiated.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
So it
They're
looks like,
highlighted in yellow.
Yes.
Correct. Are you able to pull those up, Mr. Spillman?
No, I didn't see it there.
They're in there.
Is it?
Yeah, you can see that, I think originally it was effective July 1st of '23 to June 30th of this year. And now the new term dates will be July 1st of 2024 to June 30th of 2026 is one of the changes.
There's multiple changes. It's all throughout the document, you know.
I just see the highlighted, updated dates. And then if you look at 8.01, there's some different language and job performance.
Keep that one. Okay. There's some highlights. You can see them in yellow.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Are you able to locate those? You see them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm looking at them right now.
All righty. Any questions? No? Okay. Mr. Seymour, will you call the vote?
Mrs. Knighton,
Aye.
Mr. Spielman,
Aye.
Dr. Johnson,
Aye.
Ms. Bryant.
Aye. The vote passes unanimously. The next item on the agenda is 10.01, adoption of Ohio Association of Public School Employees contract.
10.02.
What did I say?
1.
I'm sorry,
okay.
2.02. We just did 2.01.
The recommendations is to approve the adoption of the Ohio Association of Public School Employees, better known as OPSE, contract as presented.
Okay. Board motions in order?
Yes, Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the adoption of the Ohio Association for Public School Employees contract as presented.
I'll second.
It's been motioned and second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, will you call the vote?
Mrs. Knighton,
Aye.
Mr. Spielman,
Aye.
Dr. Johnson,
Aye.
Ms. Bryant.
Aye. That vote passes unanimously. The next item on the agenda is 10.03, personnel schedules. Board, a motion is in order.
Recommendation?
Recommendation,
It's okay.
Superintendent Smith.
The recommendation is to approve the personnel schedules as presented. Schedule A, B, C, D, E, and M. And there's a correction on M based on based on an employee today presented their information to resign as opposed to being terminated. So
Okay.
that'll reflect in the next month's meeting, but I'll send you guys the update because it didn't come to us in time.
Okay, thank you for that.
Oh,
Board, a motion is in.
you're saying schedule, you're saying he resigned.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, got it.
Board, motion is in order.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the personnel schedules as presented.
It's been motioned. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, it's been motioned in second. Discussion?
I do have a couple questions. This is Schedule B,
Okay.
Schedule
B?
D,
B as in boy.
B, okay.
The 5-year contract renewals. It's just a bigger contract term than I've seen before. I mean, I'm used to seeing like 2, maybe 3. I was just curious as to why it's 5. Is that normal? Is that something?
That's usually, Ms. Knighton, a teacher contract, but if you notice, their administrators are not going to receive a 5-year, so that's usually a teacher contract.
And the reason for doing a 5-year versus any other?
These are experienced teachers that we just want to keep.
That's what I thought it was.
Absolutely, we do. And some of these are in high-profile assignments, like intervention specialists or physics or, calculus or something like that.
That just confirms, that's what I thought the reason for the 5-year was.
And you'll also see it in another specific area. You may see it usually in music.
Okay.
Have additional questions, Ms. Knighton?
Yes, I do have another one. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
These personnel schedules were just a lot, so I was
Oh,
trying to.
yes, it was.
Yes.
I was trying
Please
to.
don't do that to us again.
I was trying to absorb.
So while you're looking, I do have a question. I noticed on here we had a movement of an interim kindergarten principal. Can you please talk to us a little bit about that?
Oh, okay. So the ECCC will actually be a bigger building. And the way the building was designed in the beginning, there was a principal for the preschool and there was a principal for kindergarten. And we're actually going to go back to that once we get into the larger building. So that was the original that was here before. And we knew that that one actually worked better by having them having separate identity, knowing who the leader of the building was as opposed to an AP. The other part of it, we also know that there needs to be a behavior specialist that they'll share between both.
What's our total enrollment for preschool and kindergarten?
The total enrollment? I don't know, but I can get it for you.
And don't we have a cap for the preschool?
We do have a cap for the preschool based on space. And the other part that the public needs to understand is 51% of the preschool students must be students with disabilities. So that actually increases your volume of FTEs and people to work with them, because some of those young people, especially the ones that are from our district, must have some of them need a one-to-one.
Is that a state requirement?
Yes. Now, keep in mind, preschool is not a requirement. However, you're going to set your district back if you don't have preschool opportunities in preschool. Kindergarten is a mandatory state requirement. But we know that if we can get them earlier, we have a better chance of being successful.
Most of them are ones.
So I've heard that when we go into this new building, when I was doing the tour, they said in the new building, we'll have room for more preschool
Yes,
or more
sir.
kindergarten?
Both.
Okay.
Yes.
So what is the plan to, like, increase capacity in preschool from, we're 100 and we're gonna do a 50% increase, or?
It
Is there a
depends on
plan?
several things. It depends on, number one, the young people that are coming and the parents that are applying. Number two, it depends on, we may have a few kids that, once they take that early entrance exam, they may qualify for kindergarten. So we don't know exactly where they're going to be, but we know we're using age as a variable.
Okay.
Okay?
We did at one point have a waiting list to get into the preschool?
Yeah, and it will be again. We believe it will be again, especially with the renovated building. There are some parents that have mentioned that they don't really want to send their kids to that building because of the design of it or something, I'm not sure. And Tanya Bray just gave me the nod. We actually have a waiting list right now for preschool.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I believe right now the preschool, I don't want to say costs us, but we don't get.
No, we
what
do not.
And I think that number says, I might say it wrong, 600,000?
The number is big based on what we get, but also what we have to figure out is the dollar amount that we receive for preschool and what it costs for preschool, those dollars are totally different. Mr. Seymour, do you have the figures of what it costs to run the preschool as opposed to what we get in dollars and cents?
We get around 379,000, and the last time we figured it was approaching 900,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the
So-
early development of what we're doing with kids, to me, it's,
But if we double our capacity, then we double that $530,000 offset to over $1 million.
but we also, it may get to that, it may not, depends on what the math looks like, but we also are having a better success with the third grade guarantee by having preschoolers start school early as opposed to later on. Because some of these kids will start school at 6 years old.
It's more about trying to build the right foundation to get them ready for that.
And with us being a 5-star, the one thing that people will have to understand, people want the 5-star as opposed to the 4-3-2-1. If you could choose a 5-star, you would say, I prefer that
It's a
one.
no-brainer.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Ms. Bryant, that answer your question?
Yes, it
Okay.
did. Thank you so much.
One question that I had, the teacher that just gave us, social studies teacher, Mrs. Collins, she'll be on this report for next month, or are you gonna add her to this month?
I'm going to actually add it, but it'll also be on the next month's too, so that you guys can see the difference in the two, because she hasn't transitioned yet.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Ms. Knight.
I do have another question with the schedule that says change in employment for those 5 people.
Which schedule? Schedule B?
I think it was B.
Schedule,
It's the last page.
I think, yeah, it's the last page
Oh, change in employment, yes, gotcha.
for those 5 people. I know there were changes in titles, or is there also changes in pay?
One is.
there's change in title and pay for one of the employees.
So, can we have a discussion about that?
Yeah, we should.
Because as we're looking at this, and I know that there is a change in title and pay, and I guess as a board, I like to understand what that means and how that happens.
We probably should go into executive
Okay.
session to have that conversation.
Okay, sounds good. So we can actually do that now, everyone?
Okay.
Okay. All right, we are going to go into executive session to discuss personnel matters of a public employee. We are now at 10.03. We were discussing personnel schedules, entertaining questions. Board, are there any other questions regarding the personnel schedules?
No.
None? Mr. Seymour, you call the vote?
Mrs. Knighton,
Aye.
Mr. Spielman,
Aye.
Dr. Johnson,
Aye.
Ms. Bryant.
Aye, the vote passes unanimously. The next item on the agenda is 10.04. Superintendent Smith, you have the floor.
Is it Scarlet and Gray?
Yes.
Okay, I'm really like excited the way you guys asked the questions about the contract. Because knowing that we were gonna transition into the ECCC, where's the dollar amount that supports that particular building? Are you gonna just add it on later or throw it on us later on? So, there was a conversation that I had with Mr. Denny about the contract because we were trying to put it together. And Scarlett had proposed that they would add a person and a half, all right? That would come out to be $80,000, okay? What I did is I asked Mr. Denny to go back to Scarlett and Gray and ask them, okay, why don't you now purchase all supplies because you can get them for a different rate than we can? Because they purchase all the liquid supplies, but we purchase all the paper towels, napkins, those kinds of things. So he went back and had a conversation with them. They want the contract, so they gave us the reduction based on $30,000. So it's only gonna cost $50,000 for the man and a half, which is the deal we wanted. You know, they're getting a big contract, they're getting a big deal, so giving us some leeway along the way, because I think Mr. Spielman said it eloquently, there are other people that do this work that we can go out and get an RFP somewhere else. So we made the decision, and we work with Scarlett and Gray. They've done a good job over the years, so that's why the recommendation is to use this cleaning service and follow this agreement.
Okay, thank you, Superintendent Smith. Board, a motion is in order.
I'll make a motion to recommend, or to approve the Scarlet and Gray agreement as presented.
I second that motion.
Yeah, all my
And our questions. Go ahead.
Yeah, all my earlier comments are in the contract, the liability, the,
Yes.
you know, they've addressed all those questions
Yes.
in writing, so I was pleased.
Great, thank you. Any further discussions? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, will you call the vote?
Mrs. Knighton?
Aye.
Mr. Spielman?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Ms. Bryant?
Aye. That vote passes unanimously. The next item on the agenda is 10.05 Resolution, National Teachers Appreciation Week. Dr. Johnson?
I would love to read this resolution. This is the resolution for National Teachers Appreciation Week, May the 6th through the 10th, 2024. Whereas the week of May 6th through the 10th, 2024 is National Teacher Appreciation Week. Whereas public schools have been a gateway to success for every generation of Americans, and whereas a strong, effective system of public school education for all children and youth is essential to our democratic system of government, and whereas public schools are at work shaping the future for a whole new generation of young Americans who will take their places in education, business, industry, and government, and whereas no other profession has so great an opportunity to make a lasting and life-changing impact on the lives of so many. And whereas teachers empower, inform, teach, enlighten, share, enrich, create, motivate, mentor, and touch the minds of those students they are entrusted with. And whereas it is appropriate for the Winton Woods City School District to pay tribute to the teaching profession as a whole, and to recognize teachers for their dedication and for their commitment to challenge and educate the youth of our schools and community. Therefore, be it resolved that the Winton Woods City School Board of Education formally designates the week of May 6th through the 10th, 2024, as National Teacher Appreciation Week, adopted this 22nd day of April 2024.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution for National Teacher Appreciation Week, May the 6th through the 10th, 2024, as presented.
It's been motion. Can I have a
I'll
second?
second.
Motion and second. Thank you. Any discussion or comments? All right, Mr. Seymour, will you call for the vote?
Mrs. Knighton?
Aye.
Mr. Spielman?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Ms. Bryant?
Aye. That vote passes unanimously. The next item on the agenda is 10.06, Resolution National School Nurses Day. And I am going to use kind of privilege, and I like to read this one. Imagine that.
No, you practiced
Resolution.
it last night.
Yes, National School Nurse Day, May 8th, 2024. Whereas it is proper to acknowledge school nurses for their professional contributions to encourage and support a healthy environment and education for our nation's youth and for the students and staff of the Winton Woods City School District. And whereas school nurses provide a vital role to the institution of public education through their unique expertise for managing primary and preventative health care. And whereas school nurses are diligent, motivated, caring professionals who influence and promote a healthy school environment that is safe and conducive to learning. Be it therefore resolved, this 22nd day of April 2024, that the Winton Woods City School District Board of Education hereby recognizes the continued effort, commitment, and resolve of school nurses to make a difference and proclaims May 8th, 2024 as National School Nurses Day and the Winton Woods City School District, adopted this 22nd day of April, 2024. And I will actually motion it myself. So what I'd like to approve the resolution, National School Nurses Day, May 8th, 2024, as presented.
I'll second that.
It has been motioned and second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, will you call for the vote?
Mrs. Knighton?
Aye.
Mr. Spielman?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Ms. Bryant?
Aye. That vote passes unanimously. Our next item on the agenda is 10.07, Resolution School Nutrition Employee Week. Mr. Spielman, would you like to read that one?
Yeah.
You have it one for now. Can you give it to him?
Let me read the next one.
Oh, look, he's got it.
We did it.
You want to read that school bus driver one?
School Nutrition Employee Week official proclamation. Whereas nutritious meals at school are an essential part of the school day, and whereas the staff of the district's school meals and nutrition department are committed to providing healthful, nutritious meals to the district's children, and whereas the men and women who prepare and serve school meals help nurture our children through their daily interaction and support, and whereas the week of April 29th, 2024 is School Nutrition Employee Week, now therefore be it resolved that Winton Woods City School District expresses its deep appreciation to these valuable employees and commends their good work on behalf of children. Adopted this 22nd day of April 2024.
Thank you, Mr. Spell. Board, a motion is in order.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution for the School Nutrition Employees Week, April the 29th through May the 3rd, as presented.
And I'll second it after reading it.
All right, it's motioned and second. Any discussion or comments? No? Mr. Seymour, will you call the vote?
Mrs. Knighton?
Aye.
Mr. Spielman?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Ms. Bryant?
Aye, that vote passes unanimously. The next item on the agenda is 10.08, Resolution National School Bus Driver Appreciation Day. Ms. Knighton, would you read the resolution?
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, this is a proclamation for the National and Ohio School Bus Driver Appreciation Days for April, it says here observance May 6th, 2024, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Whereas the Winton Woods City School District Board of Education recognizes the critical and important role that bus drivers are entrusted with on a daily basis, and whereas the Winton Woods City School District Board of Education commends the dedication of these drivers to provide safe transportation for the students and staff members of our district, and whereas bus drivers demonstrate a positive role model to reinforce the importance of education and support for family, schools, and community, and whereas the Winton Woods City School District Board of Education, as a stakeholder in the educational development of these children, express its appreciation and support for the drivers and staff of the Winton Woods Transportation Department. Now therefore be it resolved that the Winton Woods City School Board District of Education proclaims April 22nd, 2024, and May 6th, 2024, to be days of sincere appreciation for the important role of the staff of the Transportation Department of our school district. Adopted this 22nd day of April 2024.
Okay, thank you. Board, a motion is in order.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution of National School Bus Driver Appreciation Day, April 23rd, 2024, and the Ohio School Bus Driver Appreciation Day, May the 6th, 2024, as presented.
I'll second.
It's been motioned and second. Any discussion?
You okay? Is that Mr. Spielman? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
All right, seeing none, Mr. Seymour, will you call the vote?
Mrs. Knighton?
Aye.
Mr. Spielman?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Ms. Bryant?
Aye, that vote passes unanimously. The next item on the agenda is 10.09, second read revised policies. Superintendent Smith, you have the floor.
Yes, Madam President, the recommendation is to approve the second read revised policies. 8330, student records, 8600, transportation, 8650, transportation by school van, 9160, public attendance at school events, 9211, district-supported organizations, and revised policy 9270, relations, equivalent education outside the schools, and participation in extracurriculars for students not enrolled in the district.
Thank you.
Yeah, there will be some questions about that last one.
Yes.
And once the board goes through, I can explain my position.
Board, a motion is in order.
I'll make a motion to approve the second read revised policies as presented.
I'll second that motion. Any questions or discussions?
On policy 8600. It asks the board, or puts the board responsible to approve the routes within 10 days of the start of school.
Yes.
Could we set up a meeting with the transportation department to review that?
Two of you can,
Yes.
yes.
But don't we usually get that?
You get that
we
information, you'll get that
in-
information actually a month before school starts.
Yeah, that's when we usually
Okay.
get it.
Yeah.
And we get
But
it
if you have
usually at
additional
work
questions,
session.
yeah.
Okay,
Right.
okay. I
Because
just
there's
didn't
not
know
a
how that-
transportation committee,
Okay,
doesn't exist.
okay. I just didn't know how that got
Yeah.
to us to approve.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you for the
We
clarification.
usually see it at a work session, like
Yeah.
the month before, and then we know
Okay.
that it's on its way for
And then you'll
that.
see the other piece of declaring stops that are impractical, meaning
Right.
there's one kid and the kid has to move somewhere else, go somewhere else to catch that route.
Yeah.
Understood. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Mr. Smith, could you elaborate a little bit more on the one you said that we might have some questions with respect to the
Good point.
extracurricular?
Okay, so, of course, in order to be on the board, you have to live in the district,
Right.
correct? While you may have children that participate in activities because you live in the district, the problem that you may run into at some point is a student that is participating that does not attend the school and beats your kid out for an opportunity. That's been coming up. So the student lives in the district, however, he doesn't go to Winton Woods, but he's the quarterback. And there's a Winton Woods kid who goes to Winton Woods who wants to be the quarterback. There's been some controversy with parents saying, how does this kid get to beat over my kid, and they don't even attend here? But their tax dollars do.
So is this more for students who are homeschooled,
Yes.
who are still students of our district, but their location is their home, that the
Yeah.
parents have chosen to homeschool them?
Or it could be, President Bryant, a student who is in a K-8 facility and, or a K-12 facility in another school district, even though they live in the Winton Woods district, they don't have football in that other school. So they're allowed to play for Winton Woods.
They would just have to get back here, try out,
Do everything they're supposed to do.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
And it's all well and fine until they knock a kid out of the spot.
So is this, I mean, I know that there are
This is
codes.
Neola.
Yes, so this is happening across the state?
This is everywhere.
So this is not unique to Winton Woods?
No,
I
it is
think the
not.
public needs to understand that this is not unique to just
This
this
is
district.
across the whole state of Ohio. And the Ohio High School Athletic Association endorses it as well.
See, but that seems different to me than home education. Going to another school
Yeah, if they don't have.
It's,
and
if they
home
don't,
education,
if they don't
those seem
have,
like two different
yeah,
things.
it's
but
a
if they don't,
non-public
if they
school,
don't have
right?
sports in that school, they're allowed to participate for the district of where they live.
So the eligibility requirements specify that it has to be enrolled in a non-public school? So if it's a private school that doesn't offer that particular
There you go.
sport and they live
Yes.
in our district, that qualifies,
Charter.
correct?
Yeah.
Or a charter school, okay.
Parochial, yes, separate, yeah.
But they couldn't go to a neighboring school, say over in another adjacent community, and then say, well, I like your team better, even though I go to that school. So it has to be a
It couldn't
non-public,
be,
meets those criteria.
it couldn't be a Cincinnati Public School kid saying, I want to play for Winton
Format.
Woods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it could also be an open enrollment student coming from Cincinnati Public Schools to our school.
Well, that happens every day.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
but they're enrolled in
It
our
takes
school
that.
district.
But remember, from that particular student
They're our
situation, that dollar amount follows the kid to our
Right.
district.
So
Right,
that's
but,
understood.
but you still have a student from another school coming here, but maybe he's coming here also for the
They're
football
enrolled in
program
our
or
school.
the drill for the rowing program or the swimming.
Well, we
program.
always say that when students come here from another district, they're coming for project-based learning.
Understood.
Correct, Dr. Ragland?
Absolutely.
And so also the eligibility requirements, so wherever that student's coming from, they still have to meet all of the academic
Yes,
requirements.
if we say it's a
for all
2.5,
students.
it's got to be where we say it is, not where they're coming from. Because remember, the Ohio High School Athletic Association says a 1.0 is good enough. And we don't.
Okay. Very good. Great questions. Any other questions,
No.
comments? Ms. Knighton? All right. Seeing no further questions, Mr. Seymour, will you call for the vote?
Mrs. Knighton,
Aye.
Mr. Spielman,
Aye.
Dr. Johnson,
Aye.
Ms. Bryant.
Aye. That vote passes unanimously. The next item on the agenda is 10.10, amendment to the Miranda Homes Purchase Sales Agreement.
Yes, Madam
Superintendent
President and
Smith?
Board, the recommendation is to approve Amendment 2 to the Miranda Homes Purchase Sales Agreement, 1501 Kingsbury Drive and 924 Ellsworth Drive properties as presented.
Okay. Board, a motion is in order.
I'll make a motion to approve the amendment to the Miranda Homes Purchase Sales Agreement, 1501 Kingsbury Drive and 924 Hillsworth Drive properties as presented.
And I'll second that motion. It's been motioned in second. Discussion? I have questions. I do have questions. I second it.
I'm sorry, thank you.
No problem. So, Superintendent Smith, if you would please just spend a moment kind of addressing why we're here in this situation and why we have to have this second amendment, that would be beneficial.
Okay, so the agreement was made a while back, but based on the size of the lots, a new amendment had to be drawn and considered, and I believe that amendment has gone through City Council, and I think now it's ready for the settlement to be made.
Okay. So just to clarify, it was not on, it was for the city of Forest Park. So once it left, okay.
Yes, we were already okay about the land purchase and the land purchase agreement. The conversation came up about the builder. The builder is in conversation with the city saying, I can build it for this amount. And the city was like, there needs to be bigger lots. The home builder says, if you put bigger lots, my revenue stream is different than what we agreed on. And we can make the lots bigger, but there'll be fewer homes.
Okay. And so with that being stated, how does that impact the board, the school board and the school to do?
Very good
the work?
question. Okay, so the other part is, if that's still being debated, and we're trying to get the revenue so that we can finish our ECCC, it holds up the revenue. So it affected us based on the revenue stream that we were scheduled to receive.
Okay. Thank you for that. All right, any further questions?
Yeah, just one, when it talks about the due diligence period, that is only, there's no due diligence on the site. That's only the due diligence to get the planning and city approvals.
Yes,
for
sir.
the land. Okay, just wanted to clarify.
You're correct.
Thank you for that. And it looks like the Hellsworth property, 10 days after the effective date of the second addendum. Okay. Great. Great. Any other questions?
No.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Seymour, we call for the vote.
Mrs. Knighton,
Aye.
Mr. Spielman,
Aye.
Dr. Johnson,
Aye.
Ms. Bryant.
Aye. That vote passes unanimously. The next item on the agenda is 11.01, Board of Education reports. First report, legislative, Dr. Johnson.
That
you
would
have
be
the
me.
floor.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass to Mr. Smith. The only thing
Okay.
that I did see in the news was about the transgender sports. That's
Yeah,
still
yeah,
a
that's
hot topic.
Okay.
So.
I'll say that one for last.
Yes, I'll turn the rest over to Mr.
All right.
Smith. Thank you.
So policy, there's an issue about cell phone restrictions.
Yeah, cell
And there's
phone
been a conversation with the lieutenant governor because people are declaring, hey, we can't manage these cell phone issues in school. It's kind of overwhelming, and there's a lot of disciplinary issues. One of the recommendations that I sent in to the lieutenant governor was, you can't stop it, it's gone too far for too long. What you'll have to do is put factors in, and maybe Ms. Hobbs, knows about the factors I'm talking about, where cell phones are restricted in the school. You have to put some kind of technology in there. And then during your lunchtime, kids have free use of technology, free use of cell phones, because kids are using their cell phones as computers. And, when it was just a regular phone where you were talking on it, you knew I'm breaking the rule talking on it. Now, this kid may be doing, all kind of, research for his classes. So I believe that it's gone too far to say just stop using it. Because now we'll add that factor on to trying to stop vape and trying to stop cell phones. It's just no one's being educated because you're chasing kids around about their technology. Someone mentioned there are some school districts that when the kids come in, they put it in these special bags and they hold on to it. That's risky because the price of cell phone years ago was $200. Now these cell phones, what's the value? Ms. Hobbs, what's the value of a cell phone?
$900.
$900,000.
Ms. Hobbs,
$1,200.
As she's
what's
on
the
her
price
cell
of a
phone.
cell phone?
Can't hear.
It can,
Thousands.
yeah.
1,000,
It could be over
1,100.
$1,000.
And so you put the teacher and you put the administrator in a compromising position. Okay, during the course of the day, you collect 3 cell phones, and now you say, I can't find them.
Yeah.
That won't work. Ms. Knighton, would that work for you with your children? No. So what's the price of a cell phone? I know you're our cell phone guru. What does it cost?
Anywhere from maybe $300 to $1,500.
Okay, all right. And the kids don't have a $300 version.
Yeah, the parents do.
No. So,
Take the
so
$2.
when they asked a question from Winton Woods, my statement to them was, there has to be something put in the schools to stop the use of the phone and make sure that the kids can go make a call in the office if they need to, or you open the cell phone restriction process up during the lunchtime where kids can have some kind to communicate about, I'm going to be late for sports, they changed the schedule on this. There are times where there needs to be that level of communication. And the question that I have to the board is, how many of you have ever lost your cell phones? How many of you panic when you do? Okay, all right, imagine a 17-year-old.
Yeah. I think there's been a lot of conversations in different places about the use of AI and so this kind of speaks to the cell phone, that there are people that are afraid of the use of technology. These are the little mini computers.
That's what they are.
If you see me pick it up during the board meeting, if I'm trying to get back in my computer, they're sending me a code to get back in,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's almost a vital part of what we do every day and the way that we've connected. And I really just hate to see students be punished for using the technology that we didn't have when we were in school, right? But it is a part of our life, and we use
Absolutely.
it for everything. And you have to have it when you travel. If you've got your boarding pass or your update,
Can't
or
do anything without
get into
it.
your computer and the recovery code. This is the world in which we live in.
And again, we talk about trust, respect, and responsibility. We have to kind of own it because we've let it get so far out of control. Society, not necessarily Winton Woods.
Right.
And if you put the restrictions in there, then maybe you can kind of have some barriers around it. But to just come in and say, here's a cell phone policy, it's going to stop. Ms. Hobbs and I, during our direct report meeting, we just had that conversation, and I gave her the same, overview that I'm giving you guys. It has to say that it can't be used here, and we're going to control that.
The other piece of that, Superintendent, is that if you take the phone away and we have one-on-one technology, what's that going to transfer to? Now they're doing all of that on their device, or they're trying to do it on their device for school, like the communication piece. Like they're going to try, because the communication piece is open on their device to communicate. So it's just going to transfer, you know what I'm saying, the information. They'll stop doing it here, they're going to start doing it on their device. We have one-on-one
a
technology.
nice Netflix streaming situation for a while,
See?
like everybody did.
Yeah.
And-
The students that we have are very tech savvy, and they're not afraid to figure it out, so.
One difference is because the cell phones are personally owned, we don't manage them, we don't have control over them versus the
School
Chromebooks.
devices.
We do have management control over them. Are there holes in that? Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
like a gopher cake.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I think it's a bigger pill to swallow, and there has to be some honesty involved in it. When you come into the school, you drop your phone in this bag, and we give it to you at the end of the day.
We won't be responsible for that.
The yonder bag is they get assigned a bag, they put it in the bag, it's magnet, so it's locked all day, but they carry the bag. The bag is theirs. So they carry their phone with them all day. They just can't get it open until the end of the day. There's some type of a magnet release areas in the building where they would go release it, but they take the bag home. It's theirs, it's their bag, and they just have to bring the bag back with them every day. So it's
Raise your hand if you have more than one cell phone.
I do. Or I have one for work and one for-
I have two
Well,
numbers.
I'll put that one in the bag, but you're not getting this other one.
Well, I mean, I think it's a debate that is going to probably, I don't know. I don't, you just gotta incorporate it into the learning. I mean, that's what I do in my classroom. Okay, so you all are on your cell phone, just look up this.
Yeah.
And, we'll make we'll do,
I mean,
we'll make a class thing out of it,
No, I mean, you've
like-
got Kahoots and different learning
Kahoots, that's
technology
exactly
that you can
right.
use. So if they're on their cell phones, hey, scan this
Scan
code
this
and
code.
and do
That's
this.
exactly
I mean, there's
right.
other ways to incorporate it. I think we just, I don't know. I get concerned when legislators are trying to weigh in on those type of issues because it becomes something more than it needs to be.
So with your permission, I can send an email out tomorrow saying no cell phone use in any building at any time unless it's authorized.
No, I think we
I think
just
it's a waste of our teachers' resources to run
Yes.
students down about cell phones. I
It's,
just really do.
I mean, there are some kids who really comply and there are others that don't. And then other kids are really using it for the computer. And I think Ms. Hobbs makes an excellent point. We can't see what you're doing because that device doesn't belong to us.
Right. That's when the parental controls need to work, so.
Some of the studies that I've been reading about, it's really increasing academic achievement and it's really lowering the discipline rates. That's kind of like what the studies are beginning to come out and say for the districts who have started following this new policy. And it's just, it's interesting following it right
So
now.
when the new policy is,
Not here, just.
no, I mean, when you say they're following the new policy, is that
Put it in the bag.
putting it in the bag?
Like not available during academic achievement time.
I remember being a principal and we had this rule that says no eating in the classroom, right? But the teacher's sitting there with Famous Dave's on the desk. Their kids are like, this is not working for me. Look at what we're doing right now. And I know you've specified no drinking around computers, right? But we also see our staff with those cups of coffee like all the time. You have to model the behavior.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not taught,
The,
it's taught.
the other big thing for our legislative report was the transgender sports.
Yeah, okay, so lawmakers,
House Bill 68. I think
yeah,
it is.
so there's this issue now, they're saying that the transgender kids cannot participate, it's the boys that can't participate, all right? They didn't really say too much about girls yet. So it's kind of interesting along the way. And then the controlling board approves funding for districts in fiscal emergency. Nearly 10.8 million advance to struggling school districts drew numerous questions from lawmakers Monday, but was ultimately approved by the controlling board. So they're saying, we're going to bail some folks out. And districts are saying, we've been fiscally responsible. Why would you bail them out? Not that we hate on another district, but you had the same opportunity that we had. And you use your money the way that they told you not to. Which means I think that for districts that were very responsible, you should get a bonus. Because you bailed the folks out and they still did what you told them not to do. Now, of course, we can't let districts go down the tubes, but it's interesting. And then the House of Senate higher education chairs are warning colleges and universities not to dawdle on training educators in the state's preferred method of reading, meaning we're telling you the science of reading is here. Give it to your kids in school, the students that are in the universities, and don't think that it's going to go away. This is what the governor's saying. This is our work right now. And so there are some lawmakers and some people in the universities that are saying, we're not going to teach it right now. We'll wait and see what you do. And so what you'll have is these young people won't get their endorsements. And now we're up the creek.
What if they're educated because we are so close to different states? If they're in one of our bordering states in Kentucky or Indiana where they didn't teach it and they need it for Ohio?
Well, we would be very, very, hard pressed not to take that person because they don't have what we need. And that's a barrier. States are split about science of reading, who's doing it, who's not doing it, who's endorsing it, who's not endorsing it. And then, of course, the one that I thought was one of the coolest ones was Miranda resigns to accept county auditor spot. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. So those are some of the highlights. There are so many different things that are, trying to get passed before the end of the summer, the end of the school year, that it just becomes a juggernaut of just stuff. And Dr. Johnson and I play tag team on it because it's too much.
Great. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is 11.02, Great Oaks Career Technical Report. Board, I know that we have that report. I did want to just highlight something out of there to actually congratulate a couple of Winton Woods students. Quincy Murray, who attends Scarlet Oak for welding. He earned his AWS welding certification. Quentin Esters, who's also at Scarlet Oaks, who also earned his AWS welding certification. And for David Vu, who's also at Scarlet Oak and earned his AWS welding certification. So congratulations to all three of those individuals. And then there are a couple of dates that are on here. I just wanted to make sure that the public was aware. On May 8th, there's a student recognition ceremony at Scarlet Oaks. And then at May 14th is the Laurel Oaks senior ceremony. May 15th is the Scarlet Oaks senior ceremony. May 16th is the Live Oaks senior ceremony. And then May 16th is Diamond Oaks. And May 21st is the Project Search graduation. And then on June 13th is AWD graduation. So, all right. Next item on the agenda is 12.01, Board Motions or Recommendations. Board? Any motions or recommendations? Okay. Seeing none, the next item on the agenda is 13.01, comment from members of the Board of Education and Superintendent and Treasurer. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first. Last month, I got a stack of School Board Appreciation Month comments from students, and I read every one of them. It took quite a while. But I'd just like to thank the students and the teachers for probably putting these in their hands, but then the students just for taking the time to write them. I just appreciate it. I thank you for the kind words, and then I'd like to congratulate all the students and coaches and teachers tonight that received an award. And I went to the opening night of the Little Mermaid, and I just wanted to congratulate Sebastian the Crab, Ariel, Flounder, and Ursula. I thought those four, everybody was good, but those four.
The crab in red was a star, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was exceptional. And then I also, President Bryant brought up Quincy Murray, Quentin Esters, and David Vu. I have some background in construction, and getting that American Welding Society certification is a big deal. So I'd like to congratulate those three young men on that. That's a lot of work. They know what they're doing, and there'll be some good jobs when they graduate.
Absolutely.
So those are my three.
Doc, can I go next? I can't hardly hold mine in. I'm sorry.
Okay, go.
All right. So we have our first Bill and Melinda Gates scholar, Ariana Best, the first.
Oh.
And, we've had, I think it was 53,000 applicants, something like that. And they only named 700, and Ariana Best is one of them. And so they're gonna do something special. I wasn't supposed to say it on TV, but hopefully they're not watching. And they're gonna do something special. We're giving her the award and certification and whatever. And then I'd like to read this, I'd like to thank Ms. Bray for this, but I'd like to read this letter that a student sent me. It says, "Thank you, Mr. Smith. Thank you for letting my interpreter, Miss Ashley, go on the Michigan trip. Having access to what was said in sign language made me feel happy. When I don't have an interpreter, it's easy to feel confused. Knowing what was happening let me have more fun and enjoy the trip. Without your support, my trip would have been a different experience and tough to enjoy. Thank you for supporting me, Rachel Broyles."
Good job.
So we sent the interpreter with her. That's what she has here, so we give you the same.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Who else wanted to?
I'll go next. I missed last month's regular board meeting.
Well,
and I
don't make
didn't-
up for it.
I'm going to make up for it. No, I just wanted to say thank you to my board colleagues and to Terry Morgan from OSBA in helping us with our superintendent search. I didn't get to say that last week or last month. It is my professional and heartfelt opinion that Mr. Smith has served the district well as our superintendent for the past 12 years, and I appreciate what he's done for the district. I also welcome Mr. Denny as our superintendent in waiting. I didn't get to say that last month, and I wanted to say that. Also wanted to thank everyone who was acknowledged tonight with the recognitions, gifts, introductions, and a special thank you to the teachers and the coaches who pour into our students scholarship, excellence, and determination and leadership. Without you pouring into our students, they would not be who they are. I always mention this because the deadline is approaching for FAFSA. As an educator, I just pound it. I mean, we're giving away money, we're doing scholarships, this and that, but you can't get anything unless you fill out that FAFSA. And that's that free application for federal student aid. And there was a little glitchy in it in the beginning, but they worked it out. And the deadline is, though, still June the 30th, I do believe, for you to get it. And keep in mind, the awards are made when, and funds are given out, and when they're depleted, there's no more. So get your application in. If you're planning on your student attending school of any kind, just fill it out just in case and see what you might be eligible for. Drew already mentioned many of the noteworthy events that we have coming up. So the only one that I will mention again is the Honors Diploma on Friday, May the 10th, and also our graduation ceremony, because as an educator, I love graduation, because that's what they come to school is so that they can graduate. I go to several graduations in the course of this time frame, and I sit through them and I enjoy the students that get to march across the stage. But we're excited for our seniors, and we also want to note that we have 60 students who will receive the honors diploma and wear the special white robe. And that means that they have met the criteria for the Department of Education's honors diploma. So that is a very high accomplishment. We want to thank the parents for pushing their students to excel to that level, and also to the students who had to do the homework and stay up late nights and to study and make that happen. Again, to all of our district leadership teams, to the teachers, to our stakeholders, to Mr. Smith and Mr. Seymour, just thank you to you all. And that's it. And I'm going to try to mark on my calendar to come and make some of those ribbons with Drew and her squad, on Saturday, May the 4th. So if you have just an inkling of a little crafty hand, they could use you, and I'm going to try to be there for that as well. So thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Ms. Knighton?
Yes, I just, I'll make it short and sweet. I just want to say thank you. As always, it's an honor just to serve in Winton Woods as a fellow school board member with my colleagues here. Congratulations again to all of the honorees that we had this evening. I too am going to try to make it on the 4th, so if not, I will definitely send some people that way. So if you're listening, make the time, right? So hope.
Many hands make light work.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. So the more that show up, the quicker that task can go. So definitely hoping that I can get there as well. So again, thank you for allowing us to ask the questions during our board meetings. And not only that, but get the results. I mean, even with things like the contract, I mean, we asked questions and the next meeting, those things were implemented. And so that's how things should work. And I'm just appreciative to be part of a board that is receptive like that. So thank you.
Great. Mr. Seymour, do you have any?
No, thank you.
No. So I want to echo my colleagues in thanking each one of you for allowing us to do this work, but also congratulations. When I first looked at this schedule of how many awards and how the student athletes and Kiwanis, I was overwhelmed. I just think it is amazing the amount of gifts and honors and recognitions that our students in Winton Woods get. It makes me proud to be a part of a district that honors their students. To the teachers, thank you for all that you do. Thank you for the teachers. Thank you to the nurses. It's also Nurses Week in May 6th to the 12th. Thank you to the school bus drivers, and thank you to our wonderful school nutrition specialists who make sure that the students are well nourished, and that we also receive good meals when we come to the school for different opportunities. And I agree with you, Mr. Spillman. I got to see the Sunday performance of Little Mermaid. It was phenomenal. I laughed. I was just amazed at how talented each one of the students were, the people that can sing. I can't carry a note even if you hit me on the head with it. So to watch them, show their talent in front of family and friends, the audience was just captivated by their performances. So kudos to those individuals. And also, congratulations to Jessica Miranda on becoming the Hamilton County Auditor. Sad occasion how it happened. However, I am encouraged. She's always a warrior, and that she will be able to serve all of us in the county as well. And thank you again to Cincinnati, Ohio Police Federal Credit Union for the services to the district and for their contributions. That's what I need you. So I think that's all that I have. Okay. All right. The next item on the agenda is 14.01, motion to go into closed session, executive session board. There is a need to go into executive session. I'm looking at Mr. Seymour, so I make sure that I get the language correct this time.
Compensation of a public employee.
Compensation of a public employee. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session to discuss the compensation of a public employee.
Okay, so
I'll second it.
motioned and second. Mr. Seymour, any discussion? No. All right, Mr. Seymour, you call for the vote.
Mrs. Knighton,
Aye.
Mr. Spielman,
Aye.
Dr. Johnson,
Aye.
Ms. Bryant.
Aye. That vote carries. It passes unanimously. That is it. We will not be coming back out of executive session, and we'll end the meeting there. So thank you very much, and thank you, Waycross Community Media, for all of your excellent work. Thank you.